this bill for further consideration.
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Member Lewissa Wall in reply. Tēnā koe, Ms Wall.
Kia ora ana, Mr Speaker.
Me taki.
In concluding this first reading debate, I want to focus on a sentence from Rowan's statement. Other people can have both their parents on their birth certificate, and they don't have to choose between having their mum's name taken off or having no family at all as far as the law is concerned. This bill is fundamentally about Rowan's right to her identity, which exists within the context of her family. The Human Assisted Reproductive Technology, or HART Act of 2004, came about because of the changing ideas of family that permeated court decisions from as early as 1990. Those decisions reflected changing social understandings of the structure of the normal New Zealand family. The old understandings of family as genetically related and nuclear collided with new understandings. These new understandings of family involve same-sex couples, reproductive material donors, and altruistic surrogacy. Since 2004, we have recognised in law these new understandings of family and parenting. The Care of Children Act 2004 widened the practice of guardianship, changing from the traditional Western ideology of the nuclear family towards a more traditional Māori concept of the extended family. The 2004 amendment to the Status of Children Act recognised parenting roles where a child is born as a result of an assisted human reproduction procedure. All this legislation reflected the actual realities of families in a modern, contemporary society that recognises choice. Rowan is part of a new family. Under the 2004 amendment to the Status of Children Act, both Rowan's parents would have been identified as such and accordingly could have been recorded on Rowan's birth certificate. However, due to the circumstances of when and where Rowan was conceived, this was not possible at that time. However, now as a New Zealand citizen with a New Zealand parent, Rowan is entitled to have a New Zealand birth certificate that records all of who she is. A birth certificate is an official document that contains the registered information about your birth. As the Department of Internal Affairs states on its website, and I quote, "The birth certificate states the fact of the birth, the place and date of that birth, the names or names registered for the child, and establishes a link between a child and its parents." Rowan has a New Zealand birth certificate. It states the date and place of her birth. It states her names, but it only has one of her parents' names recorded on it because it is post-adoption certificate and the law requires that in issuing that certificate her mother's name must be removed. To pass this bill will mean that Rowan's link with both of her parents will be clearly identified on the one document that she will use as evidence of who she is. Her birth certificate would then describe her family in real terms. Kia ora tātou katoa.
Right. The question is that the Sutherland Birth Certificate Bill be considered by the government. Oh, hang on, sorry. I've jumped the gun. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will please say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it.
Sullivan Birth Certificate Bill, first reading.
The question is that the Sutherland Birth Certificate Bill be considered by the Government Administration Committee. Those of that opinion will please say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Therefore, honourable members, we come to members' orders of the day number 1.
Prohibition of Gang Insignia in Government Premises Bill, third reading.